Hello, hello, hello. We are here today. You are watching and listening to The Alert Factor. I am Nancy Alert, and I am a real estate broker in the DC metro area. And we are here today to talk about everything real estate. What we do is here we talk about everything real estate, whatever you want to know about real estate internationally, nationally, locally. The Alert Factor has the information. So today I'm going to be talking a little bit about local market, national market, what are the ramifications of the interest rates going up yet again, and maybe touch a little bit on the commercial market. And here we always talk about how to create wealth by acquiring multi-units. So I'm always going to be talking about that. And for those of you who don't know, I'm Nancy Alert. I have 27 years real estate experience in the DC metro area, licensed in Maryland, Virginia, and DC. And for the last 10 years, I have been teaching people and showing them how to create true generational wealth by acquiring multi-units. You got to own a building, even if it's just 4 units, because once you own multiple units, you'd never have to think about rent ever again. You could pass it on for generations, and they never have to think about rent or a place to live ever. So creating true security and true wealth, you have to buy a building. We can talk about that another time. But do know, any real estate information you need regarding the DC metro area or even nationally, inbox me. You know where to reach me. I'm everywhere. I'm on Instagram, the Nancy Alert, on all the other social media as Nancy Alert. So if you're a for sale by owner or you're a realtor and you have properties that you would like to list for sale, you can list it on our platform right now at realestatelistings.info, and the world will see what you have to offer, and it's for free right now. So you have a free listing or listings on our platform. So without any further ado, my guest today is Ms. Zakia Lopez. She likes pomp and circumstance, so I'm clapping. Yay!
I was just
Welcome.
listening so intently. I'm sorry. I saw my face. I'm like, because I was just listening. I think this is wonderful. This is so
Welcome, 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 Zakia. Zakia Lopez is a real estate agent in the DC metro area. She's licensed in Washington, DC. And Zakia,
good.
tell us how long you've been licensed. And tell us a little bit about you.
I've been licensed, God, for 10 years now, since it's 2022. Um,
Nice.
and I'm with Samson Properties.
Uh-huh.
And of course, the market is crazy. I am working right now with a for sale by owner as
Well,
well.
tell me what made you decide to enter into this not stable, but this arena, this industry, because it's 100% commission, right? And it takes a special person. It takes a certain craziness to say yes, I'm going to jump in all in and do this 100% commission situation for years. What made you decide to do this?
Well, I'm good at sales. I've done sales for a long time, over 20. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't look it, but I do have.
I know. That's why I tell people. I said, wait a minute. I always say, I'm going to tell you how long I've been in the business, but don't judge me by that. I've been in
Right,
the business for
right,
27 years. I started when I was 2.
right. So that part. No, so I've always been good at sales, and real estate has the highest commission. It's very simple.
Yeah. So that's what I tell people. Real estate, investing and real estate as a career is one of the best places I know for you to make money in as a realtor, as a real estate investor, as a real estate consultant. Real estate is where millions, is where careers are made. Real estate is where true
Well,
wealth is
mm-hmm.
created, right?
Yeah.
And I think people say, well, I don't want to have to do sales. And I think most everything you do is sales, right? Most everything you do requires some level of sales.
Orders, absolutely correct.
Requires some level of sales. And so I'm like, well, it does require some level of sales. And I was not a natural salesperson. I grew into being Nancy Alert because
to believe.
I know. Most people are like, girl, please buy. But the truth is, when I started in real estate in 1996, I was a very, very shy person. I was. And I'm like, and I didn't know anybody because I was from New York. I came here to go to Howard, graduated. And I'm like, I'm going to stay and do what I do right here in DC, right? And I'm like, how am I going to make money? You can't even look at people while you're talking to them. But when you have to make sure you eat, you figure it out. You figure it out when you got to eat. You figure out what you need to do. And all of a sudden it was like, I've created this person with this personality, which is perfect for real estate. You and I have a great personality for sales and for real estate, right? I mean, because we've never met a stranger, right?
Right. That's true. Everyone's family. You know me, of course.
We've never met a stranger. So you're in real estate now. And Zoe just had a birthday. Happy birthday, Zoe.
Yes, she just had a fabulous birthday.
Is she 8?
She's 8 years old, and
wow.
She's had 2 weeks of birthday fun. So we're done. So glad the month of October is done. Yay!
Yay! Now it's your month.
Time to, it's grind time. This is the winter.
So since you're talking about grind time, let's get right into it, right? So we're in the second month of the last quarter. Man, could you believe it? We're in November.
Yeah. And
we're in November and
are slow into a creek. And they get slow always during this time.
So the market is normally slow during this time, from about September to about end of November, mid-November. And then it picks up a little bit. For some reason, it picks up a little bit, and then it goes back to slow mid-December through end of February. But we usually have a little normal lull around this time, except for last year. We had an uptick. I mean, it was like busy the whole entire time.
That's what I hate, COVID.
It was COVID, there's a lot of businesses, and I am sorry for those individuals and the individuals that lost their lives. There are so many businesses that folded, lost money because of COVID. The real estate industry made money. It was it almost like it was a positive hinge effect on the real estate market until it wasn't, right? Because until it wasn't, like this year, we knew what happened. So in 2020 and 2021, you just thought about selling your home and it was gone.
Yeah.
You had 30 people trying to buy on that property. 30 people.
$100,000 over.
$100,000, $250,000. I remember my client wrote an offer for $250,000 above list price, and he didn't get it.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, he didn't get the property, and he was mad. And then he was mad. He said I wasn't aggressive enough. Have you ever heard put those words in the same sentence with my name? Not aggressive.
He had contingencies. He had contingencies.
Yes, right. He did, but I wasn't aggressive enough. But he had his contingency, his home inspection contingency, his appraisal contingency. You had all your contingencies, but I'm the one that wasn't aggressive enough.
Well, $100,000 with no contingencies beats $250,000 over asking with contingencies.
Right, because it speaks on it take away the unknown, right?
Yeah,
so it takes away the unknown.
No contingencies. I have cash and I'm ready to close in 10 days.
Exactly.
I was trying to say, hang on. They always try to blame us. It's okay.
Yeah, because I'm like, Has anyone ever put those words and my name together? Not aggressive enough. Never. They're like, bring it down, bring it down, bring it down, Nancy, the aggressiveness. I mean, but anyways, so that was 2021. Everybody getting outbidded, homes being sold for hundreds of thousands above list price. Reel it forward to 2022 right now. Interest rates is not 2%. It's not 3%. Shoot, it's not 5%, right? So the interest rates are higher. Prices are dropping a little. People are panicking. The sky is falling. And this is what I wanted to talk to you about. This is the sky falling, or are we really doing what we should be doing? We're just adjusting, readjusting to what it should be.
I don't know. I think DC is a very unique market. And I'm speaking specifically of DC because Maryland, certain parts of Maryland have the after effect. A market that seems to be very close to DC is Montgomery County market and that of like Arlington, Fairfax. It's just in a moment where everybody's trying to be conservative at this point. We have elections coming up. We have all sorts of things that just went down and finished. So we're in a recession, and everybody knows what happened in 2008. So everyone's just trying to count their coins and be more responsible. I would tell anybody that's in real estate or getting into real estate right now. I know everybody was flipping houses during the last 10 years has been like good shit. Like, it's been great. So, but I think now's the time to consider the buy and hold, like you're saying, getting a building that has several different units.
Well, here's the thing:
residual income.
Right. Here's the thing: a lot of people want to compare what's happening now in the real estate market to what happened in 2008, which is that is so different, right? Because in 2008, we had negative amortization, we had those predatory lenders, we had those interest-only products. We don't have that. We do not have that. We have way where the mortgage exceeded the value of the property. We don't have that. The only thing we have right now is the interest rates are higher, and the interest rates, we had to raise the interest rate to stabilize the economy. We had to. Now I'm saying to them, stop now. You can stop now. We don't have, you can stop now. We don't need to do that anymore. Because what are we at? 7%? 7.5
or something like that.
And even so, even though we're at 7%, and I'm like, stop, because we really can stop now, because anything past 7%, we really are going to create an issue where people are not going to buy because the prices are so high, or the price is going to have to be dropped significantly, right? In 1996, when I started as a realtor, I had bought my first property in 1995 before I was a realtor, and the interest rate on that was 10%. Okay? It was 10%, and that was regular. In the 80s, it was 13, 14, 15, 18%, and that was regular.
What I want to point out, and I'm not to cut you off, but people like I've had clients, and I say have had because you've been blocked out a little bit out of the buying market because those interest rates, that was like phenomenal for the time, and it was historic lows, and that was not like it was the thing because it lasted for so long, but that wasn't the norm. So everybody want to walk around to my friend bought a house with no money down, and my friend didn't have to pay for closing. Those days are gone.
Well, that's what happened at that moment, right? Yeah. At that moment, that's what was going on. At this moment, this is what's going on. And I think when people focus so much on that moment, they're missing what they could get in this moment. Because
and then they say craziness like I want to wait. I think I'm just going to wait.
Well, no, because you can always. I say this every time, and people think it's a thing realtors say, but I don't know if it's a thing realtors say. But I know for me, I mean it when I say every market is a good market to purchase and sell, because you're always going to make or. Here's the thing. Every 10 years, there's a situation, I call it a hinge effect, that affects the real estate market and the stock market, right? Every 8 to 10 years, there's some stuff is going to go down. Pay attention.
Right.
Go back 40 years and do the math, and you see every 8 to 10 years something is going down, which is changing the stock market and the real estate market. Now it's incumbent upon you to stack your coins, because that's the time when you're supposed to do something. This is the time when you're supposed to jump in, right? When the market is going down, you jump in and you buy properties and you hold it. So when the market come up, you sell it and you're good, right? Even when the market is down, it's a good time to buy for investments, a good time to buy for your personal. When the market is high, it's still a good time to purchase, because why? You're purchasing that property right now at what that value is right now in this point and time, right? In 5, 10 years, it's going to be something different, right? You would have already took some money out of your property, gained a bunch of equity in your property, refinance 1 billion times. You have to look at the long game of real estate. For the most part, real estate is a long game. It's a marathon, not a sprint, right?
Yeah.
And this is why I tell people you need to get multi-units, because those are holds. You buy it, you hold it, and you get your money every month, every year, right? And
People
meanwhile,
tax benefits of that, because most people always wonder, how do the rich people, they don't get taxed for what? Why? Because they have real estate, and if it's a residual income, it's not taxed based on that.
and it's not even that. People are always talking about, it's not only that. People are always talking about, because he's rich, he's not paying any tax. Listen, the tax code is there for everyone, right? So if you want to go on, and I can't remember the name right now, whatever that little software is, and do your taxes, then you
Right.
go that and you do your taxes and you get what you get. Now, me, I pay the man $2,500 a year and I get what I get, right? And then somebody pays them $10,000 a month and they get what they get, right?
Right.
So exactly. You have to know the codes. You have to know where the loopholes are. You don't know, so therefore don't do it. That's not my wheelhouse. I let the CPA, I give that to him. I'm like, yo, handle this business. I'm over here handling real estate business. So if you have real estate, you have multi-units, you have just a condo, whatever, you have investment property, you start a business, you jump into all those little loopholes where you too can pay less taxes, have deferred taxes. Just speak to someone that is their expertise. They're the SMEs. I like to call up on the SMEs, subject matter experts, right? I am not talking to you. I'll talk peripherally about taxes and about 1031 exchange, how you can save yourself from paying taxes, how when you buy property in the high market and you refinance and take the money out, that's not a taxable event. You don't have to pay taxes on that money you took out. See, so you bought it and you just took out $300,000. You didn't have to pay taxes on that money. So now you go on. So when you sell it later and you're like, oh, I lost 50,000. No, you didn't. You already took 300,000, people. You have to know you can do that. And the only way you will know that you can do that is you have to speak to the SMEs. You have to speak to the subject matter expert. And when it comes to real estate, here we are to speak to you. When it comes to taxes, speak to a CPA. They will give you all that information on how you too can save money, make money. What we do is we teach you how to make money, how to increase the money, and more importantly, how to keep the money.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think it's very important to know the how to buy a house and what your purpose is when you buy one, especially when you're single or you're like a single couple, you have no children, stuff like that. Most families are looking for the 30-year mortgage dream. And then there's even a purpose and a way to do that type of purchase, other than buying something where you're just paying for the rest of your life because you have grandchildren or whatever that you want to see. Take the same
because what people need to realize is your real estate is an asset, and you can, the word I would like everyone to add to their vocabulary today or increase the usage of this word is leverage. Well, two words, and collaboration. Leverage is you're leveraging your real estate, or you're leveraging your relationships, or you're leveraging your bank account, right? Or you're collaborating because you can't scale. You can't get bigger if you don't add people, if you're not partnering up with others.
I say you have to, especially when it comes to like the prices of homes in DC. Like if you're buying over a $500,000 house, to me, $400,000, and I think you should learn how you need to collaborate with different people, because there's a capital gains tax that applies to certain homeowners when they purchase at a certain amount. And just because you have the money doesn't mean you have the education. And
well, that's true. And you might have the education. And I said that when people say education is power, I'm like, well, no, you take it to another step. It's how you use the education is what makes it powerful, right? Because you could have the information and not use it. It's sort of like when I tell people education without implementation is just entertainment. You just got the information for entertainment because you're not using it to elevate yourself, to scale yourself, scale your business. You're not using it, right?
Yeah. So now that's like that. Education without implementation is
entertainment. Yes, education without implementation is just entertainment. Because you see people, and I thought about that when I see there was this specific, no name calling, but I'm not calling names, but it's a specific realtor friend of mine that was constantly, I'm all about education and I'm all about learning, because you have to learn, you have to keep knowing more about the industry you're in so you can truly do what you do to the highest level. However, if you're going to every webinar, every seminar, you're on a Zoom every day, you're flying across the country, you're getting all the information, but it stays right there and you do nothing with it, then all of that was just for entertainment. Right. That's when I decided to say that, oh, that is just entertainment, because you flew across the country. You went to California, you went to Colorado, wherever they're doing these wonderful seminars, webinars, and you did not implement not one thing that you learned, but yet you're signing up for the next one that's coming up next week. No, you have to implement. So we are going to take a short commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about the real estate market in Washington, D.C.
Metro New York's port services are currently constrained and challenged in facilitating the handling of international cargo. It's time for a whole new ballgame. Just 55 miles north of the city, Stewart Airport, closed during the base realignment, is an underutilized resource that could be maximized and bring growth to the area and relieve New York City. It's an ideal place for a thriving supply chain center of regional excellence called SCORE. We intend to support the New York and New Jersey Port Authority's commitment to the New York International Plaza, putting it at the forefront of a transformation of regional global trade, telecommunications, and economic growth. A logistics-based regenerative smart city that supplies an interactive platform of data and document interoperability to optimize resources. SCORE will transform this location into a thriving hub that can process and distribute cargo via various methods of transportation, elevating it to one of the world's best intermodal ports. We aim to build a cybersecure network operations center that enables customers to share data in real time across the supply chain and across the whole region, utilizing eco-friendly practices to keep things running efficiently. And it doesn't stop there. Not only will SCORE develop high-speed wireless networks in a data-driven city to improve logistics and facilitate international trade, it will also create critical infrastructure for regional economic development. By optimizing the business environment, attracting startups and investment, supporting the development of high-value industries such as medical, education, technology, and hospitality, creating new employment opportunities for the region. SCORE will inject vibrancy and inspire prosperity in an underutilized area to develop a greener and more livable smart city that thrives, bringing excellence to the Hudson Valley. It's a game changer. Visit IC Logistics to learn how you can support this SCORE Economic Development Initiative at Stewart Airport.
Welcome back. Welcome back. You are watching and listening to The Alert Factor. I am Nancy Alert, real estate broker in the DC metro area. We are talking about everything real estate. You know, here on The Alert Factor, what we do, we talk about everything real estate. And today, my guest, Zakia Lopez, and I were talking about why get into real estate, why real estate is the best, one of the best places to be as a career, as an investor, and why DC metro area is, regardless of what's going on in the real estate industry, is the best place to get real estate, because we're always, even when the market is down, we're still good. So Zakia,
Yes.
would you say if someone says, "Oh, I was thinking about, I was toying with, I was playing with becoming a realtor," because whenever the market change, we get 5 million realtors jump right in when they don't have to do any work, right? And then
Yeah.
as soon as the market changes and goes back to regular where you have to do work, they jump back out and go get a job, a
Right.
job. So I call it a job. So if someone asked you, is this a good time for me to become a realtor? What would your advice be?
I mean, the same thing I say to buyers and any client. It's always a great time. It's now is the best time to buy. Period. Now is always the best time to buy, and now is the best time to get into real estate. I mean, but I wouldn't. I always tell people, don't get into real estate expecting not to spend any money. Because to get the license, I think is so cheap. It's like $250 or something. I don't know how much
Hmm.
it is, but that's how
Right.
much for me. And so you just think, oh, once I have the license, I go hang it with someone, and then that's that. But because so many people have never been business owners, or some business owners have never been real, like legit business owners, it's about the marketing piece. Marketing is
Right.
always
And all
your
the other things
business.
you have to pay for
Your
as a
biggest part of
realtor.
overhead, besides keeping the lights on in the building. It's marketing.
Right.
So
Right. And
it's
so realtors don't, if you're a realtor, not a broker with your own spot, you don't have to think about the lights, right? Except at your house. Right. But you do have to think about, how am I going to market myself so that people know that I'm a realtor? How do I do this so I'm not a secret agent? So
yeah,
you got to do the marketing, the dues and the fees that are associated with holding your license, right? And all of that. But with all of that, because there's so many companies for you to choose from, for you to say, okay, if I'm with this company, this is what I may have to pay. If I'm with that company, this is what I may have to pay. Then you get the opportunity to choose where you want to be. And then with that company, this is how much money you're going to get. And with that company, this is how much money you're going to get. So you can choose what you want to spend and how much you want to make and go do it. And then when you start making money, you call the shots in where you want to be. I think this is a perfect time to get into the real estate market because you will learn how to do it correctly right now, because now you have to do the work, right? Now you learn how to do the marketing. And the truth is, like, yeah, the things that you have to pay for is like your dues to belong to the board, the real estate board, to get your license, to get your access to the MLS, right? And marketing can be free. Marketing can be free. It can be free. It can be free. I remember when I started real estate, um, I did a lot of things that was not costly. Like I remember one of the buildings that I love in Arlington, and that's the building I wanted to sell in. And it so happened that a client was referred to me by my attorney, and he said, "This is the building I want to live in. This is the only building I want to live in Arlington. And I don't know why all the realtors I've talked to keep sending me other stuff. This is the building I want to live in." I said, okay, if this is the building you want to live in, I'm going to get you a unit in this building. Simple. So there was nothing available for sale. So I I have a buyer letter, and I put his initials in there. And the reason I thought about it then, I said, I'm going to put his initials in there because I didn't want the homeowners to think I was just trying to get a listing and I didn't really have a buyer, right? So if I put his initials in there, when you do see the buyer, and those are his initials, like, well, okay, she really did have a buyer, right? Because people do that, send out letters and they don't really have a buyer. So I sent out a letter to the building saying, I have a buyer. He's looking for a 1 bedroom. He would prefer a view on a higher floor, blah, 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 blah. And 4 people responded. I sold him the unit that he chose. And then he referred 3 of his friends to me, right? And I sold 2 of them in that building and 1 outside of that building. And then, so then now I'm in the building now, right? Because I just sold 3 units. So now I'm in the building every Friday. I'm in the lobby. I'm giving you information that you can use, and this is free, people. Get a pen, take notes. Every Friday, I would go to the building. I'm in the lobby around 5:30, 6 o'clock. The people are seeing me. Hey, Nancy, how you doing? You got stuff going on in the building. I always see you in the building. I'm in here every Friday between 5:30 and 6:30. I'm in the lobby. I'm talking to people. They see me. When they see you, right? They see your face, and then they see a little letter in the mail from you. They're like, oh my goodness, she know this building. She's always doing something in this building, right? And then you start sending the people market statistics. People always want to know what their property is worth. They don't want to talk to you about it, but they want to know. You send them an email or get their email address. They send them a mail or get an email address and send them something where they can click on a link and figure out boom, there's your property value. So I'm always showing up. And then I bring cupcakes to the front desk people, the concierge. I bring them cupcakes. So those cupcakes cost me whatever they cost me, cupcakes, right? They were Georgetown cupcakes, so they're a little pricier, but how expensive, right? And when somebody walks into that building and say, hey, are there any units in here for sale or rent or whatever? It's a condo building. So each is owned individually. The concierge gives them my card. And they call me. Boom. That was free. It cost you maybe a cupcake. Okay?
It's also, you thought out of the box, and you have no fear of being odd girl out just standing with her damn cupcake saying, hey, I'm a realtor. A lot of people, that's what it feels like to them. It's like they're begging you to do business. And it's hard for some people. That's why I say, if you're going to go into it, you need to really have a plan, and you really need to know. You have to have that confidence factor. I don't mind going to stand in somebody's building and going to pass out anything, because we're just like that.
Right.
But if you don't have that and you're not able to think out the box the way you did, because that was pretty dope to send out mail to as a buyer letter. Like, I've never done that before.
You've never done that? Oh, I've done that, and it has worked for me each time. Another building in Arlington, the one guy, these are the millennials, and they know where they want to live. And if somebody tells you, realtors, you got to pay attention. If somebody says to you, I only want to live in this building, why are you showing them anything else until they come to you and say, well, you know what? Maybe we should broaden the search. Look only in that building and be proactive. And when I say be proactive, don't wait for it to come on the market. Because if your client is only looking in that building, when it comes on the market, now he or she has to compete. Right? If you be proactive and you go send that letter, they're not competing. Because of course it's advantageous. It's advantageous to the seller, because in the letter I said this is advantageous to you because you only have to pay one side of the commission. Right. Which is my commission, right? You just have to pay my commission because I brought you the buyer. You don't have to pay a listing because I'm not your listing agent, right? So it's advantageous for both people. You save some money, my client saves some money. They're not in a competition. Boom, it's done. Go to the buildings.
Not to cut you off, to my second point, you need to choose the company that's going to have the best, not training, because I do hate companies that are like, go to this training every day. We have it on Tuesday, and this, like, you don't make money in the office. Like, she didn't get her client in the office. She was at an apartment building. Like,
right. You don't make money in the office. However, you have to be in the office to learn what you need to learn. And when you learn it, then what we do with it, we go implement it. Then you go out of the office. But I understand what you're saying. There's a lot of companies where there's a lot of training, but you don't have to take all of the training, right? But you do have to get the training to build up the confidence so you can go out and fly on your own, because this is a lonely business, because you're not in business by yourself, but you are by yourself, right? Because it's you. If you don't work, like they say, you eat what you kill, right? If you eat what you kill. If you don't work, you don't get a check. If you don't sell a house or rent a house, you don't get a check. So therefore, and there's no one that's gonna be like, Zakia, it's 8 o'clock in the morning. You have to get up now and get yourself together, and you have to do your prospecting. You got to call people, 10 people today, or you got to get 5 cards today. No one is here.
It takes discipline. It takes marketing and it takes, what do we just say? Learning, just always learning.
Always
That's
learning and
marketing.
utilizing the information that you learn. I think this is one of the best industry. I love it. I've been a realtor for 27 years and I absolutely love it. I teach the real estate principles class. I love everything about real estate, and I do every week make sure I learn a few new things about this industry, learn what the new things are, what's coming up, because what worked last week, last year, is not
Make
going to
that
work.
work.
You're doing a lot of movement.
Yes, because I'm about to go. I'm getting ready to
Oh,
go get my.
right. So, right. So,
Sorry, was
we
that
we
distracting?
gonna okay. I forgot. We're you have
My baby's getting
you
up.
have
She
a
just
hard stop.
wasted at
So
2 o'clock. And you know what? That's crazy because COVID is over. They only started that for COVID, and now they're like married to it. It
right.
throws me off.
Well, I know you have a hard stop. So tell the people how they can get in touch with you.
You can always find me. Well, I have a podcast that I haven't been super duper
Right.
active.
Keep Washington in Washington.
Keeping Washington and Washington, hashtag KWIWDC. You can still see shows. It's on YouTube. I've been trying to figure out how I'm going to get it going because I like this setup because it's just, I want to do something from my house. I'm so lazy. I just want to just have my wine and talk my trash and tell you that real estate is one of the best things you can get into and how to get into it and make money from it. But yeah, you can contact me that way or zlopez98 at gmail. That's it.
All right. So thank you for stopping by today,
Thanks for having me.
Zakia. We love having you. And now, Anthony, we'll continue and we'll chat a little bit about what we can do.
Okay. Oh, wait.
Okay.
IkeaLopez.com. Whoop, whoop.
ZakiaLopez.com.
Yes,
Okay. And
exactly.
then as you have to go, you can just click out. Okay.
Oh, bye. Thank you for having me, Nancy.
Thank you for being on.
Mhm.
Yes. So again, I am Nancy Alert. I am the alert in the alert factor. And as we were talking about real estate and why you should be invested in real estate. And like I said, right now is the perfect time to be involved in real estate, to become a realtor, to start getting your coins together for real estate investing, because there will be some opportunities. Don't let this opportunity pass you like the last one in real estate when you said, oh shucks, I wish I did this then. Get ready, because in 2023 you will have some opportunities, and right now you do have some opportunities to make some purchases, some investment purchases that will set you and your family up for life. So if you're looking to invest in your first real estate, or if you're an investor and you're looking to acquire other properties, you've been buying condos, townhouses, single family, you want to jump into the multi-unit, I am Nancy Alert. I am the person to speak to regarding real estate investing, regarding buying multi-units. So the reason multi-units is one of the best ways to create wealth is because you can do one thing with multi-units that you can't do if you bought a single family, a townhouse, or a condo. You can scale a building. You cannot scale a townhouse, you cannot scale a condo, and you cannot scale a single family, but you can scale a building. And this is what I mean when I say that. You buy an 8 unit, 16 unit, 32 units. And keep in mind, you can start with 4. So don't be afraid. Don't let the number of the units scare you, because the truth of the matter is, the larger the unit, the easier it is for you to acquire it and make money. Real facts. It is easier for you to acquire a 4 unit building than for you to buy a single family home or a townhouse or a condo. And the reason why is, when you buy a three to four, excuse me, not 3 to 4, when you buy any units that is more than 1, 2 to 4, 2 and up, 2 plus, you buy a 2+ unit, the bank uses the rent from the other units that you will not be living in as your income to qualify you for that higher price range. For example, if you can qualify to buy a $500,000 single family home or condo, you can qualify to buy a million, 1.5, 1.8 building, because they use the, and if it's a 4 unit and you're going to live in one, and this is what you should do. I don't like to tell people what to do, but I would say this is something you may want to consider adding to your portfolio. If you don't already own a home and this is the first property you're buying, you may want to consider buying a 2+ unit where you live in one and you rent the other units. And the other units, the rent will be used to add as your income so you can qualify for a higher mortgage. It is definitely the better way to go. Reach out to me if you want to find out how you can buy a 4, 8, 16, 32 unit building or more. So I was just about to tell you why you can scale a building and you can't scale a townhouse or single family. Let's say you buy a building and it has 16 units, right? I like 16 and 32 units because when you do the multiplication, it makes so much more sense. You buy a 16 or 32 unit building and you're making how much ever you're making a year, $100,000 is what you're making. Your net, you know, your net operating income is $100,000. That's what you're getting for the tenants that are in place and what the rents are in the area. And that would be the same with a single family. You'll get whatever that rent is, and that's what you'll make that year. But here's what you can do with a building. You have a building with a lobby. You put a sofa, some chairs in there, put some flowers, some nice smelling stuff, a coffee pot. Now you have a luxury building. And because you have a luxury building now, you can increase the price by $50. So if you had a condo, then that's just $50 a month. That's all you're getting. But if you have a 16 unit or a 32 unit, that is you increasing the price $50 a month times 16 or times 32 times 12. That's how much more you increase the value of the property you already have, right? And that's how much more money you're going to be making per year than what you were already making. Then you decide, well, if every unit does not have a washer dryer, then you create a big, fabulous space where people want to go in the basement with the vending machine, and you have your high-tech washing machine. Now you really have a luxury building, right? You add free Wi-Fi. You see where I'm going? That's what I call scaling, meaning you can add to it to make you more money, and you didn't buy a new property. You didn't change anything on your mortgage. Your mortgage is still your mortgage, right? Your mortgage is still what it is, but you're making more money, and now you have a luxury building, and all is good. All is good. So that's what scaling is. You're adding to what you already have. You already paid for the building. Now you fence it and you add grilling so you can have barbecue and benches in the backyard. Now you truly have a luxury building, right? And if you have parking, now only some people get parking. These are all the things you can do with a building that you cannot do with a 1 unit, with a townhouse or a single family. So scaling, which is so important, is one of the main reasons, and one of the main reasons you want to buy a building. And when you are looking at purchasing a building, you have to look at the scalability. Can I scale this? Okay, so it might be one of those buildings that does not have a lobby, right? So you can't put beautiful furnishings. However, it may be one of those buildings where you add other things. So you say, okay, I'm going to go in whenever someone move out. I'm going to do a little facelift to it, right? I'm going to do some paint, change some appliances, maybe change the floors. And now I might have put in $2,000, $3,000, whatever $1,000 in and it changed the whole thing. Now I can add $100 more or $150 more to the rent, which means, again, you still own that same building. You still have that same mortgage on it. That has not increased, but through the years, how much you're getting for that property has increased significantly, just based on the little things you can do, the paint, the adding the washer dryer, the adding things in the lobby, adding if you add Wi-Fi to your building, that takes you next level. So these are all the little things you can add to an already existing asset. This is why I call myself the repositioner, because I help you reposition your position, whether it's and reposition your non or underperforming asset. And how you do that is, if you already have an 8-unit building, but you're not making any money and you're thinking, I'm going to get rid of this because it's just a headache, then there's a few things you might need to do. Selling it may be the best thing, but you need someone to look at it and say, wait a minute, maybe you have the wrong property manager, number one. Or number two, what can I do to increase rents and payments of my rent? Well, increase the payments of your rent, get better tenants. Increase the rents is you have to do things, right? You can't deferring maintenance and expect people to pay you top dollar. So you got the property up to what it should be, and then you should not have any issues with getting your rent and getting the type of rent you want and the type of clients. If you have a clean, luxury, nice building being run well with a responsive management company, you will be able to increase your rents yearly or every other year, depending on how you feel. Some landlords feel like, I don't want to increase it every year because if they're paying their rent on time, I want to keep the tenants. And sometimes that is good, right? You want to, if you have tenants and they've been there for 5-6 years and they're paying on time, not missing rent, late, and destroying your property, then you might not want to raise it $150 a month, every year. You might want to say, okay, this year I'm going to raise it $50 or $75 a month, but next year I'm not going to raise it, or what have you. But the fact remains is, you have a property that you are in control of what the value of that property is, based on what you can do with that one property, and not increase your outlay of money. Just increase your inlay of money, right? Have money coming in, not money going out. So for me, that will always be the best way. One of the best way to create true generational wealth in real estate is by buying a building. You want to find out how to buy and own a building? Contact me, Nancy Alert. I can be reached on social media, IG, THEE, Nancy Alert, or anywhere else on social media, Nancy Alert. My number would be 703-861-7355, 703-861-7355, or you can see me on my website, which is nationalharborrealestate.com or nancyalert.com. That's how you reach me. You want to find out anything about real estate. You're looking for a coach in real estate. You're looking to find out real estate investing 101. You're looking to buy a property or sell a property in the DC metro area or anywhere in the United States, because I have partnership throughout the United States. Contact me. Thank you for visiting with us today. Thank you for watching and listening to the Alert Factor on our TV network. We will see you next Wednesday, 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have a great day. Bye now.